Hi, my name is John Holzwarth. I'm the chef of the Boathouse Restaurant, and I'm here with Jeff Northrup, Captain Jeff Northrup of Westport Aquaculture, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the oysters that we serve here at the restaurant. Jeff, we have some beautiful oysters here. What can you tell me about them?
These oysters are actually grown from seed that was actually taken out of this river, the Northrup River, at a certain age, at about a year old, and then brought out to our outside beds and raised to about a 3-year-old size. These particular oysters are Virginicus strain, and it's the same strain of oysters that's grown from Virginia all the way up to Maine.
We serve thousands of Jeff Northrup's oysters here at the restaurant, roasted, raw. We change the mignonettes seasonally. Jeff, can you show us how you open up an oyster?
Yes, a lot of people have injured themselves over the years opening an oyster, but it's actually quite easy if you follow a few small procedures. First of all, I like to grip the oyster. The outside trailing edge of an oyster is sharp like a knife. So I like to use a dish towel and hold the oyster. At this point you want to take your oyster knife, and I prefer a narrow, strong back knife, and you're just really seating the front of that knife in the nose of the oyster. This is where most people injure themselves. They take all the might to try to force that knife into the oyster, and they generally wind up stabbing themselves. But all you really need to do is get the nose of that knife into that notch in the oyster, and then on the edge of your table you're going to pry down, just like you're prying a nail out with a hammer, and the oyster pops right open. Once the oyster pops, you reach in, you cut the muscle, like that, scoop the other muscle out in the shell, and voila, ready to go.
Chef, you make that look so easy. Can you do one more for us?
Absolutely. Again, we're going to take your oyster. Again, be careful of that trailing edge on the outside. Take the knife and put it right in that little slot on the oyster. Pry down, the oyster pops, slide the knife in. And I know I make this look awfully easy, but it really is if you don't force the issue. If you're forcing the knife into the oyster and struggling, it's because you're not doing it correctly, and you do run the risk of stabbing yourself.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Shall we try?
Absolutely.
My favorite is Meyer lemon and just a touch of jalapeno down the hatch. That is so delicious. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, John.